So let's get this straight. You're gonna come in with your actual legitimate facts first, right? Talk about that. Then I'll come in with my characteristic rant, my little pep talk here, Sounds good?
Coffee and macaron in a nutshell. Wait, macaron, what's your MBTI?
Oh, it changes like all the time. So I think the most recent one was like ENFJ, because I'm hyper planner, but like I'm an ambivert, so it often changes between ENFJ and INFJ like pretty quickly. And I think I share traits of both. But like, my opinion on MBTI types quickly. This is my first rant of the day. I absolutely love MBTI types. I think I've memorized the characteristics of almost every single one, and I can I like trying to point out like what I think different celebrities' MBTI types would be. But the thing is, you can't really group everyone into 16 types, and I think the whole point of MBTI types is to see like how you're growing as a person. Because for me, I know that like your MBTI type does not stay the same, or like any really personality type does not really stay the same throughout your years as a human being. But I feel like MBTI types, taking them occasionally, it shows how much I've grown. Like how the life experiences in the past 3 months have changed me from an INFJ to an ENFJ. Like, I think quarantine made me realize that I am more comfortable in my own skin too. But I like being alone, but I also, when I returned back to school, I was like, you know what? I love people. I love them so much. I love making friends. And like, I have both sides to me. And then I realized that, and that's how I went from an INFJ to an ENFJ. But it's really only like 60-40, so it's okay. So that's my whole range of MBTI types. It shows how you change as a human being. Embrace it.
Okay.
Hello, everybody.
What? Welcome to the 18th episode of the Warp Dive podcast. I'm Coffee.
I'm Macaron, and we are back with our weekly jam. Today, we are discussing self-esteem and why so many people lack self-esteem, and a what-if question. What if we could turn our senses on and off?
So let's start with the self-esteem discussion. As usual, I am Coffee, and I have my 2-page fact sheet. Okay, let's get it. What is self-esteem? Well, most people probably already know, but self-esteem is how you think about yourself, how you judge your worth, and how much confidence you have in yourself. And self-esteem is quite important because it affects how you make choices in your life, because it has a large impact on how you view your life. So, why do we have low self-esteem? I know it's very common in this society, in this time, to have a very poor view of yourself. People always find something wrong with themselves, and everyone has different factors that cause this, and there are also many different ones for each individual person. So we will list a couple of these common factors, but on a positive note, before we get kind of depressing, self-esteem is often not an accurate reflection of reality, so don't beat yourself up about it. And even if you can't change whatever bad has happened in the past, you can keep moving forward and do better in the future, right, Macaron?
Yeah. I have
Okay,
nothing else to say.
so honestly, self-esteem is like a big thing for like our age group, teenagers, like especially entering high school and stuff like that. But to some extent, self-esteem is like genetic and like biological. Like your self-esteem is like partly caused by your genes, because your brain has these things called neurotransmitters, which include confidence boosting chemicals called serotonin and oxytocin. I bet those names are very familiar, even if you are not biology nerds like Coffee and Macaron. But
Maybe if you are a Girl in Red fan, you know the song Serotonin by her. and it is very good. But please do not follow the things she says in that song. Just saying, it's a good song. Listen to it. Plug. Sorry. Bye.
Okay, Macaron. So your genetic makeup in your DNA affects how much your brain releases these confidence boosting chemicals, right? So if you just have genes that trigger more serotonin or oxytocin, then naturally you have more confidence and more positively view yourself. But this is only one part of the picture, so be careful not to attribute everything to your genes. There's also your natural temperament, right? So if you have more cautious temperament, then you will naturally find it harder to not doubt yourself. So you have your genes and your temperament, which predispose you to certain confidence levels, right? And then you go through life and then you have life experiences and you experience the world around you, and these shape your confidence and self-esteem even more because they can trigger negative emotions that make you feel worthless or doubt yourself. For example, if you have like trauma, you might feel ashamed or tormented by the experience. The world around you, the people around you, like if you have unsupportive parents or peers and you're constantly getting told that you're not good enough, or like, oh, why can't you just be like Sally over there, why can't you just let's
Oh well. Okay, continuing.
so like if you just live in an environment where people aren't really building you up, then it then you don't really have that nice foundation to lean back on, and it's really easy to lose hope and be like, I can't do anything. Whatever I'll do, people are going to say bad things about me, so it's better to not do anything. And then also there is discrimination due to your gender, ethnic background, sexual orientation, or any like other demographic that's often discriminated against. It can make you feel like you don't belong, you're not worthy, and this all just accumulates into negative thoughts that you take in, and you just keep, and it becomes this negative inner voice, and that really drags down your confidence. So, tying into all of this negative input that you're receiving from other people, there's also misinformation from society and the people in your lives that can quickly bring your self esteem down because they are giving you unrealistic expectations. For example, like social media, I think is a very classic example
Yeah.
where you only see like the perfect aspects of other people's lives, and then you start to expect that that's the only aspect of their lives, and since nobody's life can be perfect, then you think something's wrong with you, and that's hard to fix because there's nothing to fix in the first place. And unrealistic goals and expectations of yourself can also come from your childhood as well, like parents or like other adults pushing unrealistic expectations onto you, especially if they're expectations that you don't really want yourself.
It's like the whole
Yeah.
misinformation thing. Misinformation. the whole
Yes,
thing.
misinformation in general. Just having a totally unrealistic view of the world around you, and because it's like so, you think that everybody else is so unrealistically great, and that you also have to be so unrealistically great, that everything you do will feel inferior, will feel wrong. And it's just that's just how it goes.
Coffee's having a slight mental breakdown. I mean, yeah, because like I guess like you'll see like those like perfect like Instagram models with like oh like they have like a full face of makeup on, they're like posing with like pouty lips and everything, and like their hair is perfectly done, and then their caption is just like just rolled out of bed. Ugh, I'm so ugly. And then you're like, if this if this is what society sees as ugly, then like what am I? Like that's what like the thought
Yeah,
process, and like you can
exactly
like keep
that.
stalking like people's Instagram pages. You can stalk people's LinkedIn profiles, like looking at how much they do in their life, and like you can just feel bad about yourself. Like that's just how it happens. Because like and then you don't realize that like sometimes if you do have a social media presence, you realize that you are actually also like putting a very perfect image of yourself out there. You're not showing your flaws. So it's like important to realize that like you're on social if you're on social media, then and you post stuff, then you will also you don't realize you are posting the perfect version of yourself. You're not like trying to do that maybe, but like you're posting all of the good pictures of you. You're posting all of the fun moments in your life, and you can like go to other people's Instagram pages and be like, oh my god, they have such fun lives. Look at them like meeting their friends all the time. But like obviously they're not gonna post themselves just like sitting at home for like 2 days straight because they have like nothing to do or whatever the heck. You don't realize how much you yourself are also like posting this perfect image of yourself, and that's not a bad thing. It's just like something natural that we do. We don't want to like share our flaws with everyone. We don't want people to like change the way they think about us. But like I just realized that like sometimes that I might talk about something so much that people think that like I perfectly embody that. Like I think people that I know think that like I'm super productive, and that when I'm actually like friends with them, they're like, oh, you're not. I'm like, not really like that, but like I have like flaws too, and like obviously like I'll talk to Coffee about all my burnout issues, but like I
Yeah,
don't think I talk to them about like I don't talk on my entire like I don't talk about it on the Warped Eye Instagram page. Like we might talk about like self-studying different subjects and like taking notes and like having these perfect routines, but it's not like we follow them all the time.
I think that just makes people even more insecure, because if you like don't want people to know your flaws, so if you consciously or subconsciously make an effort to not put out your flaws, then you just become even more nervous, like, oh no, they're gonna discover that I'm gonna make a mistake, and you just become even more hyper aware of what's wrong with you.
Exactly. And like there's no point in really like being so hyper aware about that kind of stuff because like I think sure, I mean, I'm not gonna be going out posting the bad pictures of me, but like I think you gotta be comfortable with the fact that like if someone finds that, you should be okay and like comfortable in your own skin enough that like it doesn't shatter you that someone found a bad picture of you, or it doesn't like shatter you that someone pulled up an embarrassing memory of you from like the third grade, which has happened before. Totally not relatable. But like cancel culture too. Like if you're famous enough, like people who are so famous like that, I can't imagine like what it might be like to live so that people who you might have like hurt when you were like 20 years ago come back and like destroy you for like something you did so long ago. Like you might have changed as a personality. And like I don't want to bring up cancel culture actually, but like it's like being so hyper aware about like what you put out of yourself. It's not necessarily a bad thing because you do want to like protect some parts of yourself if you don't want to like people to find out about them. It's just that like you should be comfortable with the fact that even if people do find these things, that you will be okay. It's like it's you, and you shouldn't be so insecure about the things that like you can't really help it sometimes, but like the things that other people don't put out there, if you do put it out there, then that's just you. You are unique. And like if you're not rolling out of bed with a full face of makeup and your hair completely done, you are normal. It's a normal thing to happen. I guess people like can't find the difference between what's normal on the internet and what's like completely fake and made up. So I think that causes low self esteem a lot. People, and also even if you do, even if you do, sorry, I'm very long, but like even if you do know that like these people like obviously they're not coming, they're not like just rolling out of bed. You still compare yourself like to them. Like I don't even look like as good as this on a normal day. Like awake, up and ready to go. So it's like, well, then what are we really here for? It's like if we just like comparing ourselves like how we look to like models on the internet and like I don't know. Now I'm
Yeah, the
sad.
internet like creates people with like really polished like appearances or like really polished like profiles, and you just keep comparing yourselves to them. And I feel like to some extent it's just like a natural thing. Like you compare yourself to other people for like survival, I guess. Like maybe if you go back to the
Survival of the
basics.
fittest.
Yeah, if you go back to the basics, the goal is to mate and reproduce, right?
Oh
So
god.
if other people are more attractive, then you feel threatened, right? It's like moderately like threatening. Like I don't know, you don't. It becomes a problem when you become like obsessed with it, and then that becomes your only view of yourself, and you only
I
see the bad things in yourself.
I think that we have evolved enough as a human race to know that like even if you don't think of yourself as like the prettiest human out there, that I think you will still find somebody if that's what you're looking for in life. Then like you will still find somebody. Like come on. You're a unique person and everyone has flaws. There is not one person who is the fittest. Despite what that really daunting article title says, they're not the fittest. If you, in the sense of like biology and mating, are you kidding me? We've evolved enough as a human race to know that that's not the case anymore. Because like we have other ways. It's not like, oh, if I mate with this person, they're gonna give me these really strong genes, and my kid will be able to survive. That's not the case anymore, dude. I don't think like with this person. Oh yeah, they're so hot, Then my kids will be hot, and then they will survive because other people want to will mate with them, and then they will reproduce. So my line will not end here. Oh, this person is smart. They can make wooden tools. Oh yeah, I need that in my life. It's not like that anymore. So like why are we comparing ourselves so much? Like, someone's gonna love you for you, whether it's like your friends, like you're gonna find friends who love you for you, whether it's like your like future life partner is gonna like love you for you. But like that's the whole point, right? You're not. Who are you trying to please? If by like being so perfect. So, I guess moral of the story here, we aren't perfect. Aren't we don't we shouldn't try to be perfect because perfect doesn't exist. Perfect is different for every single person. So if we try to please every single person out there, no wonder we'll get self-esteem. Who are you trying to please at that point? Like you can't please everyone in this world because everyone's version of perfect is different in their head. So you can't be perfect for everyone. So might as well just be perfect for yourself. So
Wow, who wants macaron to be their best friend now? Too
ah,
bad. Get in line. Coffee was here first.
yes, you were.
Yeah, so
All of that coffee. Yeah, so good at this.
what?
I'm so good at this. Try to follow
That's
me
right,
now.
the pep talk. I hope you guys were inspired by that, and you are going to try to work towards pleasing yourself and what you like, and focusing on what's positive about you, and acknowledging that it's okay to be not perfect, and just having fun, because YOLO, you only live once. Why should we spend it feeling bad about ourselves? Because in the end, this is the you are the person you're stuck with for the rest of your life. So why don't you just I don't know, you can't see me making finger hearts, but like, we love you too.
Yeah. You live for you. Do what makes you happy. Stop trying to be perfect and like set unrealistic expectations for yourself based on what other people want. Stop pleasing other people.
Well,
Pleasing.
then, that's all for the heavy societal problems segment. I already gave my motivational message, and Macaron had her motivational rant, and I think both of us are
Yeah.
feeling very good about ourselves, and I hope
Mhm.
you guys feel great about yourself too. And if you don't, that's okay, because, life is a work in progress.
Your MBTI type will keep changing. Full
Moving
circle.
on.
Full circle. Now, though, it's time for a bizarre what if question. What if we could turn our senses on and off? So, by this, I mean that, like, you could, like, have your eyes open, but you aren't able to see. Like, you choose which visual, you choose whether you are, like, interpreting visual information or not. Like, you can have your eyes open, but you can, like, turn off your retina, basically. And it's like, imagine if you could just do that, or, like, just turn off your hearing. Or like turn off tasting. Oh, if you could turn off tasting something, then you can
Get
like eat
COVID.
vegetables.
Get COVID. It will turn off your taste.
Oh my god. Honestly, I'd be fine like turning off my taste, like eat like healthy stuff, and then turning it back on just to eat the ice cream.
No, but like then why would you eat? Then you're just going through the motions and it's just so boring. You should
Then
just
you
like
like then you
drink
eat while doing
water.
other stuff. You eat the healthy food while doing other stuff. Like I don't want to taste the spinach, but I know I should eat it. So I'd rather just taste
Oh.
nothing and
No,
chomp
but
down on
I
the
feel
leaves.
like your senses have a purpose. The
Yeah, but like you still have them. You can turn them on if you want. Just I personally don't. I want to be able to turn like my hearing off and like focus sometimes.
No, but I feel like the point is like survival again. Here we go again. But for survival,
Oh God.
you need your senses to be constantly monitoring everything. Because what if that spinach looks like spinach, but it ain't spinach? It's like some like poisonous plant spinach thing that's like that tastes totally different. You need to like taste that and be like, ew, and then spit it out, and then you don't get poisoned.
The thing is, I'm not really going out into the wild and hunting for my own spinach. You see, I trust the company who like sold it to me to like
You sure
check
about
if
that?
it's poisonous.
You sure about that?
Oh my God, no.
You sure about
So like,
that?
as I think I'm in a privileged spot in life that I think I can turn off my hearing while I'm studying for a little bit and chill.
Oh,
Maybe if like my mom falls down the stairs, I might not be able to hear her screams. But that was dark. I mean, technically, yeah, we need them for survival. We need it to be constantly be monitoring things around us. But like, I'd like to be turn off like my taste. Sometimes. Yeah.
I see. I feel like if we had this ability, there's gonna be some time where we turn it off and then something bad happens and then we don't know and then we're gonna regret turning it off. So I think we have to like find a way to turn it off, but like at the same time not get yourself in danger, because even though like humans are like advanced and like we're pretty safe, I mean like if you live in like a comfortable place, but like
I mean, like
um
maybe like on our phones, you could like have like, oh, my hearing is off. Alert me when someone's screaming. That kind of thing, Like, be my eyes for me. Tell me when something's going wrong. I feel like we have the technology to do that. So if we were able to like turn off our senses, things like we could turn our our like taste on for like the first bite of spinach and like, oh, this is okay. Then eat the rest. You know?
but what would you do if you had no senses? Like if you turned off your sight, what would you even do? What would be like the practical benefit other than not tasting that spinach?
I think I'd be more calm sometimes if I just turned off some of my like a couple of my senses and then just like sat in complete like silence and no visual information. But that's like closing your eyes really. But sight is not that useful if you could just turn it off because you can just really close your eyes. But like I think hearing I'd like to sometimes just not hear anything and then like just chill in that silence. Or like taste is obviously like practical for me at least. And then like touch, I would never want to turn off my touch. That's just really dangerous. You
Right.
see what I mean? Like I would like to turn off my hearing sometimes. Though I listen to music 24/7.
Well then, honestly, I just feel like to keep things safe, like I don't really want to take the risk to turn my senses off. This
Fair
isn't
enough.
a would you rather question, but it is now. Um,
But like it's not really like would you it's like it's not would you rather, it's would you do this or not.
yeah, would you guys? Would you leave a comment on YouTube? Let's see. I
Leave a
mean,
comment down below.
right?
Oh, also leave a comment down below of your MBTI type, please. I'd like to know.
Oh, I mean, if you had,
What's your MBTI type? Coffee? What's your
I
MBTI
think
type?
last time I took it, it was like INTJ.
Really?
Does
I
that
feel like
make
you'd be
sense?
INFJ.
I don't know. The first time I took it, it was like INFJ, and I took it like about a year later, and then it was like INTJ. Um,
Maybe you're like you're becoming less sensitive. That's
Macaron,
not a bad thing necessarily.
give me the analysis.
I think you are a very sensitive person. Like not in a bad way, but like I feel like you can understand people's emotions a lot. Maybe, maybe you've learned to like turn that off about yourself, and that's why you can be INTJ now.
Oh, turning off your emotions, huh? See,
Not
that
really like
was
that, but like maybe
smooth.
like you become more like immune to like having tough emotions or like even like happy emotions. Like you can just like maybe turn it off. It's gonna get deep real soon. But like that's what I mean,
Turn
like you
my
can
emotions off or other people's emotions off?
like
Ooh, that's
you can feel more like you don't feel as much like I think you were able to like sustain
a
pain better. From what I know you as, I feel like you are able to like push through better than you were able to before. I don't know.
ooh.
Like through emotions, I guess. Yeah.
That is interesting. I mean, pain. I think I've come to the conclusion that pain is just an inevitable part. Like I used to think that life should be perfect and I have to get rid of all these painful points. But now I've accepted it and now I'm like this and like nowadays I feel much better and I feel like I just trust that I'm going somewhere and I'm working hard, I guess. And self esteem, back to the self esteem. I feel like self esteem has gone up too. My confidence levels are through the roof. The other day, I told you about this, right, Macaron? The other day, the algebra teacher was like factoring polynomials, and he was like, so we factored this, but it still has a cubic that can't be factored. What should we do about it? Insert coffee. Cry about it. And then I got famous in my class.
Amazing.
How to get famous. Tell your teacher to cry about it.
I love that. Oh my
I
god.
actually, for clarification, I wasn't talking to him. He was asking what we should do about it. I was talking generally, but then people were like, "Oh my god, Coffee, did you tell Mr. Algebra to cry about it?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?"
Oh my god. I love yeah. Coffee is a legend here. You know, I would never have the my confidence has also improved, but I don't think I had the confidence to tell that to my in class that loud. But like, I think that I was correct in my explanation. Totally
Okay,
not. I'm
well,
very humble.
that was a very interesting conversation. Well, I think you can be humble, but still be confident in yourself. Like, you know, you still have things to learn, but you are confident in what in what you already know.
Yeah, Shui, I'm very confident in what I already know about you, but I think I have much to learn. You, th- therapist, I will be your personal therapist now. Much to
You
learn about you.
you will
I
be
can I
my
can I can
personal
instruct you through
therapist.
the changes of the MBTI type.
Oh, that's what you mean? Honestly, you feel like that like eccentric therapist with like the like really like colorful like office or something, and like we do like the weirdest things. Like I don't know, maybe you have like sock snowmen or something.
Oh my God, socks, snowmen. Oh dear God. You know what? Honestly, I think I would be a very good eccentric therapist. You know what my office will be like? My office will be like really cool and like edgy and stuff, and it'll have like red walls, and then oh yeah, it'll have red walls and have like
Red? That's really calming, Miss
oh
Macaron
that's true. Oh, that's not a
therapist.
very. It's a very trauma-inducing color. Okay, maybe something calmer. You know what? I'll have. Okay, fine. I'll have white walls. It's boring though. What's a common color? Green. Green is like. I'll have dark green walls. Okay. I'll have dark green walls. I'll have like really cool LED lights. And I'll have plants. And I'll have like music posters on the walls of like music I like. And like I'll have comfy beanbag chairs, like normal chairs, all the chairs you can imagine, so you can pick and choose. And we'll just chill. We'll just talk. I'll be your friend. I'll give you good advice. I'll be there for you. You know. I'm gonna be such a good therapist. You know. Coffee, you are lucky to have me.
That's all for the 18th episode. Don't forget to slap the like button like you slap watermelons at the grocery store. And subscribe. And visit Macaron's therapist office. And,
Goodbye and have a good life. Keep continuing.
Macaron's fluctuating personality be like.
I hate
So,
you. I love you.
I hate
I
you.
hate you. I love you. Okay.